It wraps up this week. We hear from DeWitt County Museum leader Joey Long in news this morning, and Social Security is highlighting some of those online offerings to making doing business with Social Security easier. Those stories come up in news on this Monday. But first, we stream to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. A DeWitt County leader is making the jump from one side of the county to the other this week. Former Clinton City Administrator Taylor Baxter takes over as the city manager for the city of Farmer City this week. He is forever grateful for the opportunity provided to him by the city of Clinton.
Yeah, a little bit of a change. Going to miss a lot of the people in Clinton. There's a lot of really good people. For those that don't know, I've been hired over in Farmer City to be their city manager. Very excited for that. So for those from Farmer City, I don't want you guys to be disappointed because I'm sad that I'm going there. I like Clinton. There's a lot of really, really good things happening here. You know, they took a chance on me, just a Parks and Rec guy, to be their city administrator, and I will forever be thankful for that. But yeah, so my last day here in Clinton is December 27th. Going to start over in Farmer City that Monday, the 30th. So really looking forward to that. There's a lot of good things happening in Farmer City, and hopefully I can kind of build upon, you know, what Sue and their council and their mayor have done over there. Good things happening, so looking forward to that for sure.
As Baxter departs, several projects and goals are left unfinished. He indicates the council has sought to bring back the summer concerts that had become a huge hit pre-COVID, and it appears there is dedication to having those return.
One of the major things that the council has emphasized to me, even since, you know, my first interview, those summer concerts are so important to the community and to them. And a lot of that has to do with, you know, just budgeting. And that's where the council, I think, is going to have to come together during this budget season and figure out, okay, are we going to do a couple of big acts like they've done in the past where they'd get the voice runner-up or the voice winner, where those are going to be a little bit more expensive? Or do you want to spread it out longer where you still get very quality music, but let's say you have 10 of them, you know? So I think some planning on their ends, a little bit of direction for whoever is going to come in, but that is made very clear. They have been on me to work on that, so this next person will continue to work on that too.
Another project still ongoing is the Park Lane West subdivision development. Baxter indicates there's a lot of interest in the development in that part of the community. He believes it will be a very good thing for Clinton.
Like you said, Park Lane West, there's some lots that still need to be sold. We still have people calling all the time, wondering. I've had realtors call, I've had appraisers call, I've had just residents interested in it. So nice. I'm sending out more information. I think we have 7 of them unofficially sold. So those are still moving forward. There's a little bit of TIF money that's left and some projects that need to wrap up in our TIF district out by the school and Sunset Inn. So yeah, it's really... Again, Tim has done a lot of really, really good things in Clinton and set a very good foundation. I talked about Sue's foundation of Farmer City. Tim has done an awesome job of moving forward with the city and trying to keep everything that he had going too.
The effort Baxter feels in his first time as an administrator, he learned a lot. He appreciates the experiences he had in Clinton and the opportunity to learn a lot of lessons in this community. Historical images often degrade over time while on display, and the last few months, the DeWitt County Museum has taken advantage of an opportunity to preserve those moments in time. Joey Long, Executive Director of the C.H. Moore Homestead and DeWitt County Museum, explains their project, Picture Perfect, sought to preserve historical photographs from their collection as it is just about wrapped up.
It is about to wrap up. First, I'll explain the project. The C.H. Moore Homestead DeWitt County Museum collection includes many photographs depicting, DeWitt County's history and heritage. And many of these original images are the only one of its kind in existence. However, the problem is that due to the passage of time, some of these images have begun to fade and deteriorate. Our Picture Perfect project will allow us to fix that problem. What we will do is we will select photographs and we will be able to stabilize those photos and preserve the original photos at the same time. So the photograph that is sponsored will be recreated in an 11 by 14 format. And it will be on a special material used by museums that is resistant to light. That is one enemy of these original photographs that we have on display in the gallery wall. And then it is also impervious to moisture, which is another enemy of such things.
The photo replication allows the museum to keep displaying the history of DeWitt County while preserving the originals for generations to come.
So then we will be able to take the original, have it enhanced, have it recreated on this special material so that those images can go on the gallery wall. And then the originals will be stored in archival material according to best practices. So sponsorship is $100 per photo. We've taken in maybe 25 sponsorships so far, so I'm so grateful to the community for seeing the value in this project. And then the sponsors in return have the opportunity to add a tagline to the bottom of their photo. So some have been done in memory of a certain person. Some have been done just, by a certain family. Everyone that I've had so far is connected to a photo in one way or the other. For example, an author who wrote a book about Lincoln and the second DeWitt County Courthouse is spoken about much in that book. He sponsored a picture of the DeWitt County Courthouse, that second courthouse that he wrote about. I had a family that had a family member who worked for the Illinois Central Railroad. They sponsored an Illinois Central Railroad photo. But we still have several photos that we would like to find sponsors for. And I did post a few examples of those photos that still need to be claimed on Facebook yesterday, so you take a look at those. But I also have many, many, many more photos. And if someone's interested and would like to stop by the museum from now until the end of the year, they're welcome to do that as well. And we can go through the photos and maybe select one just for you.
Long says they've had a great response from the community, noting her gratitude towards all those who have sponsored to help keep the history of Clinton and DeWitt County alive.
It really has had a good response. And I had no doubt that people would see the value in this project. So, we have a problem or a hurdle, that these photographs are not in the best shape and continue to, deteriorate. We figured out a solution. That solution takes money. People are willing to help us financially with the project, but then we're also, they're helping us save history. But by putting the sponsors' taglines on the bottoms of these images, I feel like we're not just saving this old history, I feel like we're also making history. I mean, these images that we're reproducing, the reproduced copies, these 11 by 14s, will probably last, I would say, at least 50 years, right? So, even years from now, people will not only enjoy those photographs, but also I think they will enjoy looking and seeing, who those sponsors were, who stepped forward, who believed in the project. So I really like that part of it as well.
The effort began this fall, and Long hopes to see those finished copies on display at the museum very soon. Get more information on all things C.H. Moore Homestead by visiting chmoorehomestead.org or follow them on Facebook. You've talked and Social Security has listened. Social Security listened to feedback concerning public preferences to do business online. Some have expressed interest in being able to submit forms, evidence, and other information electronically. Jack Myers indicates they've heard about the desire to sign documents electronically before submitting them.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of feedback through the years concerning public preference to do some things with us online. Of course, we know that's not for everybody. So our, telephone or offices, those traditional options are still available. But we do want to make sure that we make these online options available for those who are interested. And one of the things that is kind of new is the ability to be able to submit forms, evidence, and other information to us electronically. Mm-hmm. So we have something we released this year called e-signature/upload documents. And what this is going to do is, and what it does, because it's already in place, is it allows our employees to request, and then it allows our customers to electronically submit 50 forms and nearly 80 different types of evidence to us electronically. So in these situations, it can eliminate the need for you to mail, fax, or deliver information to a local Social Security office.
Myers stresses this option allows Social Security employees to request and customers to electronically submit 50 forms and nearly 80 types of evidence electronically. Again, it eliminates the need to mail, fax, or deliver information to a local Social Security office.
Of course, it's optional. You're not going to have to do this. And it starts with a request from us. So I think I really want to focus on that, because you're going to know this is coming. Mm-hmm. You're going to be talking with us. You're going to discuss the fact that we need something from you, and we're going to tell you, because you're interested in it, that we're sending a request to you electronically. That's, I think, a really big, important thing to mention in this day and age of scams and fraud. This stuff's not coming out of the blue. Mm-hmm. You're going to know this is coming. It's going to be after you've talked to us. We're going to send you a link. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to log into your online My Social Security account. If you don't already have one, you'll create one, and you're going to be inside your My Social Security account, and then you're going to see that request, and you're going to be able to fill out that form or submit that document or that evidence to us. You'll upload that and send it back to us through your My Social Security account.
For more information on all things Social Security and uploading documents in the Frequently Asked Questions page, visit ssa.gov/FAQ. News time is 21 minutes after the hour. More to come on The Morning Show.
Happy holidays and a happy new year from all of us at Baum Chevrolet Buick. Hi, this is Scott Baum. I just want to take a minute to thank you all for a wonderful year. All of us here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City appreciate the trust that you and the community place in us to not only help you find the right new car or truck, but also service them as well. We look forward to continuing our promise throughout the holiday season and into 2025. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
News time is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. Efforts continue to raise mental health awareness in rural areas. Josie Rodolfi is an extension specialist with the University of Illinois Extension.
One program we're really pushing or promoting right now is our Ag Mental Health Voucher Program. So through Illinois Extension, in partnership with the Illinois Department of Ag, anybody in agriculture, youth or adult, can request and receive 3 vouchers that can then be redeemed with one of our 90 partnering providers. And those are no cost to the farmer or the client. We have providers all over the state who are willing to accept these vouchers. Illinois Extension then pays the provider. There's never an exchange of money between our farmers and our providers. So we think that's a really great place to start. It's a really great way to test therapy. We have a lot of people who are skeptical, who are maybe not ready to commit financially, but it's a really great way to see if that sort of resource is for you. The easiest way, I tell people to just, if you go to Illinois Extension and search for our voucher program, you'll find it. It's one of the top search results. And if you Google Illinois Ag Voucher Program, you will find it.
Rodolfi presented a micro talk at the Illinois Farm Bureau annual meeting earlier this month. A recent survey shows 25% of people break their New Year's resolutions by the second week of January. To be successful with resolutions, it's important to develop a plan for achieving the goals and to stay motivated, according to an expert at OSF Healthcare. Derek Johnson, an OSF Healthcare psychiatrist and APRN, says setting specific goals that are realistic, achievable, and measurable. In other words, take the new year one day at a time.
It's difficult to reach a goal if you continuously are unsuccessful. You have to reach a place where, okay, I've accomplished this, and now I can move to something closer to achieving the long-term goal. So definitely smaller, short-term goals are the way increments, smaller, short-term incremental successes are the best ways to to successfully reach any goal.
To be successful with resolutions, it's important to develop a plan for achieving the goals and to stay motivated. Overall, Johnson says the goal to always have in mind is to end the year better than you started. The veto session has continued in Illinois, paving the way for the lame duck session, which appears every 2 years after a November election. Illinois State Representative Brad Halbrook talks about the 6-week period that speeds and slows with the passing or halting of legislation and speaking on the floor to push new regulation.
The one that was kind of interesting was another revenue bill to fix the revenue bill from last spring. If you remember, we talked about how they broke their own rules at 3 a.m. to pass this tax increase. Now they call those revenue enhancements, but they're tax increases. So they had some fixes to that bill to fix, but there was tax credits in there. There were some tax credits that kind of maybe made sense. But what we did not see was a tax credit for the Invest in Kids program. And so we thought maybe if they're going to do another revenue bill with tax incentives for other things, maybe they would see the virtue in doing this tax incentive for donors and the recipients for the Invest in Kids. But that didn't happen. We saw another bill called TIF extensions. It's an omnibus TIF bill, so omnibus means many pieces. The TIF is tax increment financing, and I know Shelbyville just created another TIF district here.
Representative Halbrook says some pieces of legislation that will be getting extra attention, such as firearm regulations, physician-assisted suicide, and immigration.
Physician-assisted suicide. And so this is going to be a hot topic. I don't know whether that'll surface or whether it's just the threat of that is circulating around. So that's one that's kind of, that's pretty impactful, and a lot of people are opposed to that. That's not a 70-80% approval rating, I can't believe, on a piece of legislation like that. There is people that are favorable to it, but it's not that many, I don't think. I think we'll see some potential gun control measures, maybe 3 or 4 different things as far as safe storage and just a whole host of things there. A lot of these things kind of eliminate due process. They're kind of the red flag laws to where you're kind of guilty until proven innocent. And so, there's a lot of these situations that we see, and we know it's a real tragedy when loss of life takes place, but there's not many laws yet that could be passed to change any of these situations.
Representative Halbrook says Chicago's status as a sanctuary city is leading to more taxpayer-funded immigration efforts in Illinois.
The illegal alien situation, not only is it a crime problem, but it's a spending problem. We've spent plus or minus $3 billion over the last 3 years on the illegal aliens. This is a population of people that they came into this country illegally.
Yes.
That is a term in federal law, illegal aliens.
Sure.
And so, it's putting huge pressure on the taxpayers of the state of Illinois. There was $1 billion in this current fiscal year's budget for illegal aliens, and they passed a tax hike of $1.2 billion. So, they want to fund this thing, they want to do this thing, but they want to fund it off the backs of taxpayers, and I think that's just fundamentally wrong.
Learn more about Representative Halbrook at rephalbrook.com. As the holiday season reaches its peak, many households are adorned with the centerpiece of Christmas tradition, the tree. Once the holiday season concludes, though, it's time to bid farewell to your tree. Here are some eco-friendly ways to dispose of it. You can check your local recycling centers, as many communities offer curbside pickup for Christmas trees. Ensure all decorations, lights, and stands are removed before placing your tree at the curb. Some cities have drop-off locations where trees are chipped into mulch. This mulch then is often used for landscaping and gardening projects. If you have a compost pile, chop your tree into smaller pieces to create organic material for your garden. You can consider placing your tree in your yard to provide shelter for birds and other wildlife during the winter. Alternatively, check with local parks and conservation areas that might use old trees for habitat projects. Lake Shelbyville, for instance, is looking for trees to put in the lake. Use branches as insulation for perennial plants, or cut the trunk into discs for crafts or garden paths, and don't burn your tree in a fireplace or wood stove, as the sap can cause dangerous flare-ups. Time now for a look at this morning's obituaries. 81-year-old Loretta K. Marsh of Bloomington, formerly of Maroa, passed away peacefully December 25th at her home in Bloomington. Services for 81-year-old Loretta K. Marsh will be at noon Thursday at Calvert Funeral Home with Scott Marsh officiating. Burial will be at Maroa Cemetery. Visitation is at 11 a.m. until the time of service at the funeral home. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
News, I'm Rich Thomason. Although his presidency was marred by stagflation, the energy, and the Iran hostage crises, former President Carter is being remembered for the Israel-Egypt peace deal as well as his post-presidential humanitarian work. Mr. Carter died yesterday in Plains, Georgia, at the age of 100. There will be a national day of mourning and a state funeral for Mr. Carter on Thursday, January 9th. At least 4 deaths are blamed on the powerful storms that ripped the South over the weekend. There were numerous tornadoes, part of those storms. Finnish investigators probing the damage to a Baltic Sea power cable and several data cables say they have found an anchor drag mark on the seabed, apparently from a Russia-linked vessel that's already been seized for investigation. The Dow futures down 332 points. NASDAQ futures are off 219. More details at srnnews.com.
The new administration has hinted at one of
Protect.com.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jeremy House. In the NFL, Sam Darnold throws for 3 touchdowns as the Minnesota Vikings top the Green Bay Packers 27-25.
Darnold completed 33 of 43 passes for 377 yards for the Vikings, who would win their second division title in 3 years with a win in Detroit next week. Justin Jefferson finished with 8 catches for 92 yards for the Vikings, while Jordan Addison added 6 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. The Packers entered the day locked into an NFC wildcard spot.
Correspondent Adam Spillane reporting. Other winners included Buffalo, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, the New York Giants, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Miami, and Washington. In the NHL, winners were Buffalo, Anaheim, Detroit, Montreal, Pittsburgh, Ottawa, Vegas, Dallas, and Los Angeles. This is SRN Sports. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers held off the Boston Celtics for a 123-114 win 2 nights after suffering a 37-point defeat in Boston.
Tyrese Halliburton's 31 points paced Indiana, which grabbed the lead for good in the second quarter and held off a late Celtics push. Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nembhard added 17-point piece to help Indy snap a 2-game skid. Jaylen Brown had a team-high 31 points after scoring a season-high 44 in Friday's 142-105 rout of Indiana. The Celtics have dropped 4 of 6.
That's correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh reporting. Other winners included Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Oklahoma City, and Minnesota. And in men's top 25 college basketball, winners included number 5 Alabama, 6th-ranked Florida, number 9 Oregon, 12th-ranked Oklahoma, number 21 Purdue, and 24th-ranked Illinois. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. In a game heard right here on WHOW and all our digital platforms, the Clinton Maroons fell to Tuscola 43-37 in the championship game of the Holiday Hoopla tournament from Monticello inside the Seaver Center Saturday night. The Maroons were led by Colton Walker, who shot 50% and scored 12 points. Dalton Bell earned the Serve Pro of Piatt DeWitt County's player of the game by scoring 10 with 2 clutch threes to help keep the Maroons in a tight game in the fourth quarter. Keaton Graves rounded out the scoring with 5 points. The Warriors were led by James Parker with 13 points. 6'5 senior Sawyer Woodard had 9. With the game tied at 28 after 3, the Maroons were outscored 15-9 in the final frame. With the loss, Clinton drops to 9-6 overall, while the Warriors go to 14-0. Stay with us for our next Clinton Sports broadcast, which comes up next Friday when the Clinton Lady Maroons take on Hayworth, to be followed by the boys varsity team, also playing Hayworth, in a doubleheader here on WHOW. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, despite getting outscored in the final 8 minutes and 50 seconds, Monticello held off Paxton Buckley Loda 42-34 in high school boys basketball action to secure third place at the Holiday Hoopla Saturday evening. Gatsby Grant put the Sages ahead 28-11 with 5:27 left in the third, but PBL outscored Monticello 23-14 the rest of the way. The Sages made just enough shots and played good enough defense to survive. Grant was the only Sages player in double figures with 14 points. Matthias Rudolph scored 7 points off the bench in the first half. Rudolph was the serve pro of Piatt-DeWitt County's player of the game. Tyler Cole had 10 points to pace PBL. The Sages shot just 39% from the floor, but made 9 of 12 free throws. Monticello also committed 20 turnovers and were outscored in the paint 20-12. The Sages held PBL to 29.3% shooting, and the Panthers went just 2 of 16 from beyond the arc. They were also 8 of 16 at the foul line. The Panthers dropped to 5-7 overall. Monticello goes to 5-6. They're back in action after the new year when they host Warrensburg-Latham next Friday at the Seaver Center at 7 o'clock. Hear the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, Monticello led wire-to-wire and beat Clinton 47-32 for third place in high school girls basketball action from the Monticello Holiday Hoopla on Saturday afternoon. Megan Allen helped the Lady Sages build a 12-point lead in the first half, scoring 16 of her game-best 17 points in the half. Allen grabbed 7 boards and played excellent defense. She earned the serve pro of Piatt-DeWitt County's player of the game. Allie Widener helped Monticello close out the win with 13 points, making 6 of 6 free throws in the fourth quarter. Carly Anderson led Clinton with 13 points. Each team had 18 turnovers, but Monticello had 18 points off those turnovers to just 8 for Clinton. The Lady Sages shot 13 of 16 at the foul line and 43% from the floor for the game. The Lady Maroons shot 34% from the floor and went 0 for 8 from distance. Monticello had 24 points in the paint to Clinton's 22. The Lady Maroons dropped to 11-5 overall. They're back in action next Friday when they take on Hayworth at Clinton High School as a part of a doubleheader with the varsity boys. Game time is 6 p.m. Hear both the boys and girls next Friday on WHOW and all its digital platforms. Monticello goes to 7-6 overall. Kylan Boswell had 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Tomislav Avicic had 23 points to lead 24th-ranked Illinois to a 117-64 romp over winless Chicago State on Sunday. Boswell was 1 assist shy of his first triple-double and got it with a pass that set up Keaton Kucher's three-pointer. With a minute 47 left, it was just the 7th triple-double in program history. Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn had 16 points. Kasparis Jasunius had 14, Will Riley 13, and Morez Johnson Jr. had 11 points and 8 rebounds for the 9-3 Illini. Gabe Spinelli, the son of first-year Chicago State coach Scott Spinelli, led the 0-15 Cougars with 20 points. Noble Crawford had 15. Illinois led 60-24 at the half and built its lead to as many as 58 in the second half. It wasn't much of a test for the Illini, who are facing a winless team that doesn't have a player averaging in double figures and gives up 83 points per game, but it gave them a chance to shake off the rust from having a week off following the bragging rights win over Missouri on December 21st. A 14-point run over 2.5 minutes early in the first half extended an 8-7 Illinois lead with 22-7 and propelled the Illini to the lopsided win. Illinois shot a lot of threes. They came into the game averaging 32 per game and 6th in the nation and went 15 for 33. Illinois plays Thursday at 9th-ranked Oregon. Darius Hanna scored 21 points, and Zeke Montgomery added 6 in the second overtime as Bradley defeated Valpo 81-75 in double overtime on Sunday. Duke Dean scored 20 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and had 4 steals for the 11-2 Braves, who go to 2-0 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Montgomery finished with 19 points. Cooper Schweiger led the 7-6 Beacons with 21 points, 6 boards, and 2 steals. Valpo got 17 points and 6 rebounds from Jefferson Monegro. Casper Sepp had 11 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Bradley entered the half up 36-30. Hannah paced the team in scoring in the second half with 9 points. Bradley was outscored by 6 in the second half as the teams ended regulation tied at 63. Bradley visits Indiana State on New Year's Day. Sasha Ciani had 16 points in UIC 73-67 victory over Illinois State Sunday. Ciani had 9 boards for the 9-4 Flames, who are 9-1 in the Missouri Valley. Javon Jackson scored 14 points, and Ahmad Henderson II finished with 12. The 8-5 Redbirds, who go to 0-2 in the Valley, were led by Malachi Poindexter, who had 20 points. Ty Pence scored 10. Dalton Banks pitched in with 9, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Jackson scored 9 points in the first half, and UIC went into the break trailing 35-33. UIC outscored Illinois State by 8 points in the second half. Ciani led the way with 14 second half points. Illinois State is at Missouri State on Thursday. Sam Darnold added another exploit to his career-altering season, passing for a personal best 377 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Minnesota Vikings hung on to beat the Green Bay Packers 27-25 Sunday and moved tantalizingly close to the NFC's top seed in the playoffs. The 14-2 Vikings set up a final week showdown in Detroit next Sunday night for both the NFC North title and a first-round bye plus home field advantage package that comes with the best overall record in the conference, finishing 7-1 at US Bank Stadium, where their blitz-fueled defense has fed well off the deafening crowd. Darnold hit Jalen Naylor, Jordan Addison, and Cam Akers for scores to raise his passing touchdown total to 35, the 4th most in NFL history by a player in his debut season with a team. Love's only touchdown pass for the 11-5 Packers came with 2:18 left, a 3-yard toss to Malik Heath that trimmed the deficit to 2 points. Despite another fierce climb up a gaping hole against Minnesota this season following a 31-29 loss in Green Bay on September 29th, that started with a 28-0 deficit, the Packers fell to a troubling 0-5 against the top 3 teams in the NFC. The Packers were swept by the Lions and lost their opener in Brazil to the Eagles. But with the score too close for comfort and the Packers holding all their timeouts before the 2-minute warning, Kevin O'Connell did not hesitate to trust Darnold to win it. Darnold ran bootlegs for completions for 2 vital first downs, one to fullback C.J. Ham and one on 3rd and 2 that Akers snagged just before it hit the turf to force the Packers to use their final timeout. On the play before that, Darnold hit Justin Jefferson in tight coverage for 9 yards on another rollout. Darnold finished 33 for 43 with 1 interception as the Vikings ran 70 plays for 441 yards, their 2nd highest total of the season. Packers wide receiver Christian Watson was inactive. Linebacker Quay Walker missed his 2nd straight game, and cornerback Jerry Alexander was sidelined for the 6th straight game and 9th time this season. 2 backups, Zane Anderson and defensive end Brenton Cox, entered the concussion protocol during the game and did not return. The Packers host Chicago to finish the regular season next Sunday. Matt Duchene and Jamie Benn had a goal and 2 assists as the Stars beat the Blackhawks 5-1 Sunday night. Jason Robertson, Avini Dednov, and Wyatt Johnston had goals and an assist for Dallas, which had lost 3 of 4. Jake Oettinger made 24 saves. Chicago dropped its 4th consecutive game. It lost 3 of 4 in its season series against Dallas. Connor Bedard scored his 10th of the season for the Blackhawks, and Arvid Soderblom made 30 stops. Next up for Bedard and company is the Winter Classic Tuesday against the Blues. Jason Zucker scored a tie-breaking power play goal with 9:30 left, and Buffalo notched their third straight win by beating St. Louis 4-2 Sunday. Jerry Kulik extended the Sabres' lead with a breakaway goal that went between Blues goalie Jordan Bennington's legs with 3:41 to play. Braden Shen and Nathan Walker scored for St. Louis. Bennington had 12 saves. The Blues are tied for an NHL low 5 power play goals at home, with 0 for 4 with the man advantage. The Blues play the Blackhawks in the Winter Classic Tuesday at Wrigley Field. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Chance for isolated rain showers with fog and spots early today. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 40.